Hey, it's Adam Yurchik for TCGplayer.com. This is round 2 of an 8-man, game 1. Looks like I wasted a little bit of time, did not see the matchup, and I was writing a little bit, but should be no problem. This is an excellent hand. I don't have blue, but I do have the search. There's a small chance that could be countered, but it's a risk I need to take. And I'll suspend it and pass. He plays Verdant Catacomb, so maybe he's Jund or Birthing Pod. It looks like Birthing Pod. Alright, so Birds is probably Birthing Pod, so this will be a cool match. I hit Repeal. Cannot use it, unfortunately. But that Electrolyze next turn should be good. So I'm just going to play the Valakut, tapped, and pass. It does tip my hand, but the Search for Tomorrows is tipping it enough. So I don't really want to see a Birthing Pod here. But with my hand, I should be able to deal pretty well with whatever he's doing. Search for Tomorrow. Island. I could leave up Remand. I could repeal the bird, try to hit an island. I think the best play, though, is to just cast the Electrolyze. I hit a Search for Tomorrow, so I'm going to suspend that. And pass it back. That Search for Tomorrow will get another blue mana, which my hand desperately needs. Another possibility is for me to Snapcaster Mage this Search for Tomorrow. He misses a land drop, so it looks like killing that bird was very good. And I'm going to repeal the Scavenging Ooze. Well, I could play Elder and leave up Remand. With Birthing Pod and Ooze, he can probably get Finks. I'm just going to repeal it. I really don't want him using Birthing Pod. And I suppose missing a land drop in this situation is not actually that devastating for me. So I run the risk of missing a land drop, but that's perfectly acceptable. I actually go ahead and hit it. So I'm going to pass with Remand up. And now I'm in a very commanding position. Remand. I'm almost in the situation where I could just start getting mountains and trying to kill him naturally. But that's so far from reality that I'm just going to dig for Scapeshift. And I'll get an island. I'll cast Serum Vision here. That Snapcaster looks good. I'll play Elder and start the beatdown. And I'll play Island and Snapcaster Remand. And then draw Snapcaster for something else and go from there. Remand. And I could sack the Elder here, but I don't think it does anything. I could Snapcaster repeal the Birthing Pod. And I don't need another mana for that. So I draw Scapeshift. And I suppose that's pretty nice. I'll play this mountain. Scapeshift. I'll sack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lands. And I'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I suppose I should have not got the basic. That way I could have used the Elder to get another basic. Could have also sacked the Elder before the Valakut. I suppose I should probably, in the videos, start trying to figure out the most amount of damage I could do, just for the sake of completeness. So in that situation, I could have got another Valakut, and also figured out exactly how many lands I wanted to get, etc. But right now, I just want to win quickly. My clock's low, and it's really not that hard to figure out Scapeshift. You just have to make sure that there's always 6 mountains in play when Scapeshift resolves, and that at least enough of those mountains are new. If you get 1 Valakut, you need at least all those new mountains deal 3, and if you have 2 Valakuts, all the new mountains deal 6. And that there's 10 mountains in the deck total, which actually seems a little bit low, but the way that the deck operates, it's fine. It works out. This list is pretty successful. This list originally top-baited the Pro Tour Return to Ravnica when Scapeshift was unbanned, Li Shi-chan, and then Scapeshift was kind of played in different versions throughout the year, and then it just went ahead and won the Grand Prix. The same version with the 10 mountains and telling times and repeals. So I'm going to bring in Anger of the Gods for a couple remand. I wrote yesterday about sideboarding, and I just did this. I got some more information from Brandon Nelson. He commented. He actually played against Park at the Grand Prix. Brandon finished 9th. I imagine he took a tough loss to Park on day 2. And he said that he brought in at least an Ancient Grudge, and he brought in explosives. So I'm going to do that. I actually don't think explosives is super impressive. I may not even bring it in. I'm going to cut a telling time. Yeah, I'll bring it in. I'll try it out. And I'll cut an Izzet Charm as well. All right, let's try this. My opponent might bring in Thoughtseize. Depends what his list is, but it would be reasonable to expect Thoughtseize from him. Otherwise, what I'm really worried about is a Birthing Pod Chain of Sin Collector, which can discard an instant or sorcery, or actually remove an instant or sorcery, followed by Entomber Exarch, which also gets rid of an instant or sorcery, and puts me in a rough spot. So here, I can keep. It's a little awkward. I have no blue. If he Thoughtseized me, it would leave me vulnerable, but because I have the Elder and the Search, that's not really an issue. And this hand is just too good to mulligan. It also would seem poor for him to use Thoughtseize on turn 1. It would seem like it'd be better for him to save the Thoughtseize for a little deeper into the game. especially if he has bird. So I suspend the search. That should ensure my blue. I actually drew a blue too. I'm going to follow that up with an Elder and just try to get the most mana as I can into play, and then start picking off his creatures. So Elder here is going to soak up a Kitchen Finks, probably. No reason to really do anything else here. This is going to leave me with 5 mana next turn, which is awesome. Voice. It's a little bit annoying, but not really. I may electrolyze the voice. Here I'll get an island. I have double green already, and I have 2 red, so the search will also get an island. This deck is actually pretty light on red. The red is really just for the combo. It's kind of a necessity, and because you have to play so much red, it turns on Electrolyze and Is It Charm, and even Anger of the Gods. If I drew Anger of the Gods, that would be completely ridiculous. I guess I'm going to cast Telling Time, dig for Anger, and if I don't hit it, I can Electrolyze them. I hit Cryptic, and I hit Scapeshift. I'm going to take a Scapeshift. I'm actually pretty close to getting him. I think I may have just messed up and put both Scapeshift on top. I suppose that's all right if he has discard. And I'm just going to get his bird here. Voice is going to give him a big threat. And I think if I just get his mana and ignore the voice, don't play with counter spells, I could win. So that was kind of a little awkward. I kind of just clicked on Telling Time thinking it was like Serum Visions, putting them both at the bottom. That Cryptic Command is not great with voice, but it still could buy me time. And giving him a voice token isn't necessarily relevant if I go off the next turn. This does give me, like I said, redundancy against Thoughtseize, but I think that was just a mistake. Here, I'll just Serum Visions. Put them both on the bottom. I'll Vision again. Keeping the Elder could have been alright as acceleration. In fact, maybe I should have kept that. That would allow me to win next turn. I'd say I'm rushing, but time isn't actually relevant right now. I'll bottom those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I can afford to take a damage. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I can afford to take 1. If I hit Elder or Search, it'll be good next turn, so I'll just pass here. Also, if he does me a bunch of damage and then I Is It Charm and give him a token and hit Anger of the Gods, it still removes the token because he won't have any other creatures. So yeah, he's just going to go for the win. And I have to do the same. So yeah, I should have kept the Elder, and then I would have handily won this game. Because as you can see, I need to deal 19, and that means I need 8 lands. So let's draw. So yeah, just straight punted this game. For 5/6, I can deal him 18 damage. And I die. So I've only myself to blame for that one. He had a weak hand, and mine was strong, and I completely threw it, which is pretty annoying to do on camera, or at all. And he's also a good player. No guarantees I win the next game. But I'll run it again, and hopefully I could get another strong hand and win. I'm tempted to bring in the Remand on the play for the explosives. I don't love the idea of explosives at all in this matchup. So, got over 10 minutes. I have plenty of time to think now. Hopefully I will not make any more mistakes. Could consider the other grudge. I don't think I want it. Is it charms alright? It counters pod. It kills some things. I don't know if I need all 3. Explosives does some work, but I really don't love the idea of it. And I don't want it. I think on the play, the 3rd Remand is going to be excellent. I don't know if he's playing a couple events or he's just messing it up or mixing it up or going to the bathroom. Who knows? All right, another strong hand. I need to cast I need to play one of the tapped lands turn 1. I'm going to play the Halimar Depths to get some value, and then Elder to shuffle away. Halimar. I don't want the Valakut. I might want the Stomping Ground. I'll draw, play Elder. Then I'll have one more land. I think that I don't need the Stomping Ground, and I would like the Search to accelerate me. As we saw last game, I had everything I needed. It just wasn't fast enough. And Search for Tomorrow will help that. He looks like he might play a bird. In that case, I'll repeal it, and then I'll draw that Stomping Ground, which is fine. Could also leave up Remand. think leaving up Remand might be better. It might also mess up his play a little bit. And of course I could always repeal at end of turn. He casts Thoughtseize. I'm going to repeal the bird. So now he could replay the bird or maybe play something else. So he actually kind of punished me with the Thoughtseize. But he does not have a 2-drop, so it was not so bad. I'm going to use Elder. And then Serum Vision, that way I don't shuffle away my Scry. And I don't want Misty. I do want Snapcaster. And I'll pass. Noble Hierarch. And maybe Birthing Pod, okay. I think the best line here is to keep up Snapcaster Remand. So I'll also spend the search. Another option is the Snapcaster Serum Vision. He might use Pod to search up a voice. Alright, awesome. So he does run into the Remand. All I can do now is hope I top deck. I might have a couple of turns. All right. Anger of the Gods would be awesome, as would Scapeshift. Got about 6 that win me the game right now. Cryptic Command would not be too terrible. I'll get an island, and let's see it. All right. It's not it's not ideal, but certainly not complaining. I'll take it after game 2. I'll be pretty upset if I lose this match for nothing. So now I just gotta hope I can get there before he rebuilds. Looks like he doesn't have anything. Even Mind Sensor would be a concern at this point. That Electrolyze just eliminated it. I could cast Electrolyze and dig, but I think it's ideal to hold it here. I think it's extremely unlikely for him to have a Mind Sensor. I'm going to cast Search for Tomorrows. Possibly baiting a Mind Sensor. Nope. Alright. Nothing to do here but cast the Scapeshift and hope it's good. I'll sacrifice all my non-mountains. And I'll get a bunch of mountains. And it looks like I just escaped a very awkwardly played match. By both sides. You know, if he would have cast that voice the turn that I remanded his red cap, I think he would have probably won. Though he was trying to use Birthing Pot afterwards, so I can't blame him for not playing around a very unlikely card. He probably played it perfectly from his side. I know he's a very strong player. And he concedes. I escape to the finals. And check back for the finals of this Modern 8-Man.